Hello, welcome to the Sound of Science, the place where we deconstruct unscientific bogus and silly scams. Let's go get them. Hello, you wonderful critical thinkers. Today we're going to have a look at good old topics of religion, because this man keeps on displaying his stupidity in epic proportions. And I've shown you before that every time he doubles down on his earlier mistakes, he makes it even worse. So what's he up to now? Well, in his latest video, he basically starts off with this. Sweet mother of Gandalf. Note that this is about the most intelligent thing he will produce in the entire video, because he is again going to talk about IQ tests. Yes, and we've seen before he doesn't understand anything about IQ tests. Remember, he claimed this about taking IQ tests.
On a video, the video wasn't about this, but on a video I mentioned taking 4 professional intellectual tests. My intelligence level was 110. I did score a little bit higher than the average population.
And yes, he loves to tell himself how his intellect is more than average.
People who know me in real life tell me you're more intelligent than you think of yourself.
While he can't even make basic calculations.
But their channel is opened in 2010. That's a while. That's a while ago, 10 years ago.
But the problem is much bigger, because he is so incredibly wrong about how IQ tests work that I don't believe that he ever took such a test, because this is what he thinks.
The average American person that takes the test gets between 70 and 90. That's average. 70 to 90 is average.
No, you cucumber soul salver brains. The average American does not have an IQ between 70 and 90. The average American has an IQ of around 100. That is by design. It's the whole freaking point of IQ measurement. An IQ of 70 is not average. It means that you are mildly intellectually disabled. But now comes the kicker. He managed to do it again. He made it even worse. Listen to what he said yesterday.
I never say that I'm super intelligent. I said that when I took 4 intelligence tests, not online, I'm talking about like professional, I was just above average. Most people were between 50 and 70. Most people were between 50 and 70.
Sweet auntie of Bilbo Baggins. Most people have an IQ between 50 and 70. You are a complete idiot. There is really nothing that this man understands. Dude, an IQ of 50 means that you are intellectually disabled. People with an IQ of 50 usually can't live on their own. They can't manage personal finance. They can't read or answer official letters or fill in forms. They can't manage personal medication or transport, so they usually need supervision in their day-to-day lives. What are you even talking about? Most people have an IQ of 50 to 70. That is completely untrue. It really seems that you don't understand anything of the stuff you talk about. But on top of that, you also never ever bother to read anything that might prevent you from making these silly mistakes over and over again. Let me give you another range of examples demonstrating that you use words that you don't understand. For example, you recently met a Satanist.
She said that she is not believing in God or Satan. She's an atheist. She doesn't believe in any of that. But she's a Satanist. What? How can you be a Satanist? You don't believe in Satan.
No, you spinach pudding for brains. Most Satanists do not believe that Satan exists. To them, Satan is a symbol of individual freedom and rebellion against authority. It's a bit like Trekkies. They often live according to philosophical ideas from the Star Trek series, but they don't believe that Captain Kirk exists. So no, Most Satanists do not believe that Satan exists. They see the Satan character as a symbol of resistance against the dictatorial and murderous regime of the Christian God. How can someone like you, who claims to be well studied in biblical matters, not understand what a Satanist is?
Use your brain. Do your own research. I do my studying. I do my research.
No, apparently you don't. You've studied nothing and you don't understand anything of the words you use. For example, the word plight. It's not a very common word, but for some reason you use it a lot. You even have a whole range of videos about the supposed plight of atheists. But there is something strange about the way you use the word plight. Listen to this.
A common plight of the atheist is that church is only, and Christianity was designed only to control people. So atheist plight is to pinpoint things in the Bible and say that they're nasty and horrible and immoral. The plight of the atheist is to deceive people.
You use the word plight as if it means something like a mission or an objective, but that's not what the word plight means. Here are examples that describe what the word plight means. A plight is a difficult or dangerous situation, and that is totally different from the way that you use this word all the time. Guess what? I think I know what happened here. You read the word plight in a centuries-old Bible translation, probably the King James, and now you think you understand the word in modern English. No, that's not how language works. And you not understanding the word plight shows exactly why your King James version is not a good translation at all. Then there is your complete misunderstanding of the expression cry wolf. Listen to this.
What would that be diagnosed as? They're not sure why they cry wolf even though they've been warned. Warning after warning after warning after warning. Ignore, ignore, ignore. Then they cry wolf. Oh, he booted me for no reason without any warning. I'm telling you I'm gonna boot you. And then they keep doing it. Then I boot them. And then they cry wolf. That to me is extremely funny.
Dude, the real funny thing is that you don't understand the words that you use. You use the expression cry wolf as complaining, whining and crying when you think that you've been treated unfairly. That is totally not the meaning of the expression cry wolf. To cry wolf means that you warn about a danger when there is none, so that when real danger comes, people don't believe you. The expression cry wolf comes from an ancient Greek fairy tale called The Boy Who Cried Wolf, which is older than your own fairy tale book, but you wouldn't know anything about that. And of course, then you move on to the completely stupid Pascal's wager. Many people have explained to you why it is total nonsense, but you probably don't understand the explanation and therefore keep repeating it.
Now, for instance, let's think about this for a second. If I'm correct, I'll go to heaven and you'll go to hell. If I'm incorrect and you're correct, we'll just become part of the earth. Which one is more risky? Think about that one for a little bit. That's a big, risky move. I'm not willing to take it.
Dude, no one needs to think about that because everybody knows it is nonsense. You've been told over and over again that that wager doesn't make any sense because you ignore the possibility that both of us are wrong and that one of the other 5,000 gods is real. On top of that, you're making a bet without having any idea of the probabilities of any of the outcomes. It's like not going out for a walk because you don't want to take the risk of Thor throwing his hammer at you. And then, when he's talking about slavery in the Bible, he accuses atheists of being obsessed with sex, and for some reason he himself can't stop talking about it.
Now, did some of them do sexual favors and forced into it? Probably, but that's all you guys focus on. Sex, 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 that's all you think about. Maybe there's a problem with your sexual problems, sexual part of your body. Come on, you're obsessed with sex. Now, atheists, again, like I said, focus on sex. They were just sex servants. They were just prostitutes. In some cases, there was prostitution. They had prostitutes back then. They had call girls back then.
Excuse me, what?
They had call girls back then. They had call girls back then.
No, of course not, you pumpkin lemon fudge for brains. They didn't have call girls in biblical times because you couldn't call. And then there is this bizarre moment in this video.
But Christians now, we hold up women. My parents have a woman pastor, a female pastor.
You somehow seem to think that that is very special, that a church allows a woman to do the same job as a man. The mere fact that you want to impress us with that shows how backward you really are. And then, out of nowhere, he does this kind of racist voice impression of a foreign person.
Why didn't you like context? Oh, you don't like the context because the context makes you a liar.
And then, finally, he gives an update on the straw man matter. Perhaps you remember earlier this idiot demonstrated that he did not understand what a straw man argument is. He calls it straw man theory, which doesn't exist, of course, and he thinks that straw manning means that you belittle people, tearing their argument down by belittling them. And it's even worse, he continuously tries to correct other people about what straw manning is, while he of course has no clue himself what it means. And I exposed his stupidity in one of my videos showing you this hilarious material. You can't make this up.
Straw man is when you're in a debate and you tear the other person down and belittle them and make them look like crap. I admit that I straw man sometimes. I straw man big time when it comes to trolls. I will straw man a troll. 100% straw man. Could I offer you a binky, warm milk, and a tissue? Do you want your mommy to rub your belly? I mean, see, that type of thing. That's straw manning. But that's what I'm telling these trolls. That's straw manning, not disagreeing.
It's absolutely hilarious. He has no clue what a strawman argument is and then tries to correct others. What a complete idiot. Well, as I said, I made a video about it and I think he saw my video. And then in his next video he tried to do damage control. And we all know that if this guy tries to do damage control, he makes it much worse. As will happen in this case. Have a look at this.
Someone sent me a message and said they didn't agree with my idea of what a straw man is. It depends on who you talk to. And if you talk to 10 atheists, they give you 10 different arguments.
But it is irrelevant how 10 individual strangers define a strawman argument. The dictionary shows you the right definition. And you claim you already got your definition from a dictionary, remember?
And I went in with a dictionary and said, this is what straw man theory is. They all just stopped talking.
So, now please explain how it's possible that your definition of a strawman argument is completely wrong, despite you claiming to have taken it from a dictionary. That can't be true. No dictionary will describe strawmanning like you do, because it's total nonsense.
Straw manning is tearing down somebody else's, this is by definition, tearing down someone else's position by distorting. And so you're in an argument and you're distorting the information, distorting the truth, and making weak points by tearing down their position. Well, that's what I said. It's just worded a little bit different.
No, that's not what you said at all. You're a liar, and everyone can see that. You now come up with a totally different definition that includes distorting the truth. You never mentioned that before.
But it depends on, if you looked at 3 different types of dictionaries, you get 3 different answers. If you Google it, you get a different answer, but it's pretty much all the same idea. It's tearing down someone else's position in order to make your point with a weak argument.
No, you cucumber salad for brains. If you look up strawman argument in 3 different dictionaries, you get 3 similar definitions that all include the creation of a distorted or fake version of the position of your opponent, and then you attack your opponent for that position that they never took. This is how Wikipedia defines it. See, you replace the argument of your opponent with a different version of his argument. This is how Gemini defines it. See, you misrepresent your opponent by using a distorted version of their argument. This is how Oxford defines it. See, misrepresenting the opponent's position. That is what a strawman argument is all about. You've used the word strawman a few hundred times in your videos now, without understanding it. You've corrected other people on it, without understanding it. I've explained all of this to you in my previous video, and given you the chance to correct yourself. You've watched my video. You had time to look stuff up in dictionaries. You even made a new video about it. And still, after all of that, you still don't understand what a strawman argument is. And you lie about what you've said in your previous video.
So this came from Cam8754. You clearly don't know what straw man argument is. A straw man argument is where someone misrepresents or distorts an opponent's argument to make it easier to attack. Instead of addressing the actual argument, the person constructs a weaker, inaccurate version of the straw man, then argues that argument instead of the actual argument. That's pretty much the same thing I said in the video.
No, you frickin' liar. That is totally not what you said in your previous video. You never even came close to it, and everyone can see it. Dude, you gotta do better. I think by now, even your God, if he were to exist, is sick and tired of your buffoonery and lies. Just scale down a bit. Stop calling everyone else stupid liars, while you demonstrate in every new video that you have no clue what you're talking about, and that you yourself start lying when you're publicly exposed for your buffoonery. This is not the way, dude. Do better, take a step back, and have a look in the mirror, man. Thanks for watching.